Man, I feel bad for Larry Wheels, man. I feel so fucking bad for Larry Wheels. Larry Wheels has announced that him and his girl, that Slavic beauty, right? Where's she from? I think she's Albanian. Was she Albanian? I think she's Albanian. That Albanian hottie that he was with, they have now split up. A lot of people kind of saw it coming on social media, especially some of the red pill guys. They were sending in warnings and stuff because she didn't want to sign a prenup. She was being a bit controlling. Every time she was on the stream, she was talking about spending money and all this sort of shit. It kind of did seem like, you know, Larry Wheels was kind of simping out for her a little bit, right? But they did seem like they got along. Apart from the simping and her seeming like a bit of a gold digger, they did seem like they got along pretty well. So I thought it just worked. I thought it was one of the relationships where he's just a little bit submissive to her, but I didn't think it was anything super bad. But lately, Larry Wheels has also been going hard with the content. He did like a thing with he did a thing recently in in an MMA gym. He did another thing with like Ed Matthews and stuff. He's been going pretty hard on the content, just smashing it. And people have noticed that he's not with his girl. Like, why is he? Because before, whenever he'd go out to film streams and do content, his wife would be with him. Sorry, his wife would be with him. But it seems like, or he admitted now, that him and his wife are now separated. But the really sad thing about it is that he said, if I'm not mistaken, he said, right, that he's sending her money. He's still giving her money. That's what he said. He's still fucking giving her money because they didn't sign a prenup or anything. So he kind of feels obliged to give her fucking money, which is awful. You people are gonna say you're gonna say that I sound like a cuck or I sound like a simp. But I think it's harder to fucking get someone to sign a prenup than you guys think. How do you broach that topic? How do you broach the topic of signing a prenup? It's not as easy as you guys think it is. I think the internet is like, oh, just make her sign a prenup. How about if you love her and you mentioning it makes her not want to marry you anymore? And now you're living with all this regret, thinking, oh, what could have been? You know? Like, it's not that easy, I think, to really get someone to sign a prenup. It really isn't that easy. And unfortunately, no matter how practical it sounds, no matter how practical a prenup is, it's always going to sound bad to a woman's ears. Or to the other, even if a girl was to approach you. Actually, I think, to be fair, I think men would sign it. I think if a man was with a girl that made a lot of money and she asked you to sign a prenup, I think a man would sign it, no problem. I think women usually have a bit more of a problem. It kind of seems like you're already thinking about it ending, you know? You don't have any faith in it kind of lasting for a long time. I don't know. Either way, I feel really bad for Larry Wheels, man. I feel really bad. Larry Wheels reveals he has separated from his supermodel wife, but still pays her bills after being married for 2 years, saying they split because they grew apart. He previously bragged about not having to sign a prenup because he fully trusted her.
Signed the prenup. I hope you signed the prenup. No, I have not.
Help you sign the prenup?
Somebody's asking me if I signed the prenup. I'm like, I have not.
Funny, I did bring it up a couple times early on, but I decided not to go forward with that. I trust her.
I hope you signed the prenup. No, I have not.
Help you sign the prenup?
Somebody's asking me if I signed the prenup. I'm like, I have not.
Funny, I did bring it up a couple times early on, but I decided not to go forward with that. I trust her.
That's like cope sip. You don't trust her. You brought it up a couple of times and she said no. Then you laid off of it because you were afraid. You were afraid she would run away. That's the real truth. He's making it sound like it was his decision to stop mentioning the prenup, but in actuality, it was probably her decision to make it stop because she made it very clear when he asked this 2 times, when he requested the prenup the 2 times, she probably made it very clear that that was a no-go. And she probably made it very clear that if he mentioned it a 3rd time, she'd be out the door. And he didn't want to lose her. So he just said, you know what? I'm going to acquiesce and not mention it again. It's really kind of sad. I'm not going to lie. I feel bad for the guy, man. I feel bad for him. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, it's a wife.
Why ain't she here?
What's up?
Why'd you bring her?
We separated.
You just gonna tell him that on camera, nigga?
It's the truth.
No wonder we fucking depressed. You want me to call her, fix it?
Call her to fix it. Trying
Can
to
we
fuck my
fix
wife?
this shit?
I'm good, man.
First of all, no, I'm not trying. See, no. What happened? I mean, do you? Just saying.
I mean, look, it's grew apart. That's it.
Did you let the streaming come between us?
What's that?
She gave up. Nigga, you must have been a real asshole for her to give up the G-Wagon.
I mean, we're separated, but I'm still gonna have to take care of her. So I'll get her something nice. I'll make sure she's good.
Now, why don't you go fix that shit?
What's that?
Why don't you go fix it?
Beyond repair.
No, it's not. Go right. It's nothing beyond repair, nigga. You just got you just gotta want to fix it. You just gotta go fix it, nigga. Is it worth fixing, or are you cool being you?
It's beyond repair, man. Beyond repair.
All right, man. We ain't gonna talk about that shit. Can you get what the fuck?
Yeah, he does not want to talk. He's really fucked up. You can tell when a man doesn't want to talk about something. Those little short answers, you can tell he's really fucked up. So I'm going to say, just off the strength of me hearing that little clip, I have a feeling she cheated. Off the strength of that clip, I have a feeling the reason why they're beyond repair is not because she asked for a fucking Ferrari or she wanted a fucking pink Lamborghini and then she returned it and wanted a fucking purple Porsche. I have a feeling the reason why they separated is because Larry Wheels probably caught her DMing or going out with another dude. Most likely. I think so. I think that's what happened. That's why he kind of sounds really down, doesn't want to talk too much about it, giving short answers. Do you know what I mean? He seems really fucking sad. Men usually do that when, you know, that kind of betrayal is going to really eat you. You know what I mean? Because he's also... Because I can't imagine how much more it kind of hurts to get cheated on as a guy when you're up. Larry Wheels is up. Larry Wheels has clout. He has money. He's obviously a super jacked guy, good looking dude for the most part. When you get cheated on and you're at that level, that must really fuck with your mental. Because it's one thing when you get cheated on and you're fucking broke and you're a bum. You're like, okay, whatever. You kind of get it. I understand, you know? Your girl leaves you for some footballer or some doctor or some pilot. You kind of understand. But when you get cheated on and you're like a well-known bodybuilder influencer guy with a popping, streaming fucking career and all this shit, that's got to really crush your confidence. That's got, because you think you got it all. Because part of the reason why you're attracted to a girl like that is because you're really successful. Then you lose her to somebody else that's another level above. You're like, oh shit. It makes you feel like all your accomplishments aren't anything, you know? It makes you feel like your accomplishments, aren't worth anything. But going back to this whole thing, you know what I think is very fundamental? Because I just think people on the internet are being unfair about this whole prenup thing. Because people on the internet are calling him out, calling him a simp, saying I told you so, all this shit, right? I really think people don't give any kind of respect to how hard it is to actually broach the topic of prenups. I also think for most men though, if you end up attracting a girl that looks like this, you have to be honest with yourself. Most men out there, please, most men out there, if you end up attracting a girl that looks like this, you have to be honest with yourself and say the likelihood that she's with you because she loves you as a person is very, very low. It doesn't really matter anyway, right? Because sometimes I think some of our parents' generation, our grandparents' generation, they sometimes married out of convenience. Somebody near you, you're getting older, you want a kid, you want a family, so you just marry who's the nicest person around you type of thing. So I don't really think it's a bad thing. I think nowadays in modern culture or in the 21st century, we're too picky in general. I mean, everyone wants like a fucking baddie. Women want a guy that makes 100 million a year. Sometimes settling for somebody that's good enough is good enough. You don't have to tick all the fucking boxes, and then you can grow and build together, you know? So I think you should be honest with yourself as a man, but men have egos and pride. So you should be honest with yourself as a man and think, if you attract a girl that looks like this, most likely she's not with you because she likes your personality. She's with you because you're successful. If that's the case, a prenup is like the bare minimum. You can't move forward without it. There's no way you can marry a girl like this unless you're somebody that looks like fucking Marlon or something and think that she's with you because she likes you. She's definitely not with you because she likes you. She's definitely with you primarily because you're a successful person. Maybe that kind of turns her on. You got ambition, you got drive, you're a leader of men, but it's not because she likes you like as a person. Because she likes you as a person, why didn't she fucking hook up with you when you were working at fucking Burger King? Why didn't she hook up with you while you were fucking picking up trash on the street? So if that's the case, getting a prenup should be the bare minimum because it gives her an incentive to like stay and treat you well, and it also gives you the fucking peace of mind of knowing you've got some protection in case it goes wrong. That's what he should have done, I think. But I think because he's like a mixed race or light skinned guy, he's really jacked and shit, he just thought, nah, it doesn't matter because I look this way and I'm successful, she's clearly with me because of me, when really he should have taken the precautions. But to be fair to him also, this separation, I think he's handling it the right way. If they're separated and not finally divorced yet, I think him looking after her this way by making, because people on the internet are saying, oh, he's getting fleeced, don't buy her anything, don't give her any money. But I think this is actually the good way to go about it. This is actually the good way. Support her while you're separated. make sure she's looked after. Then when you finalize your divorce proceedings, maybe she won't clean you out as much as she wanted to. Maybe there's a possibility she might give you some leniency, right? There's a possibility she may pull back from really cleaning you out. Because if you would have just dumped her and said, fuck you, changed his number, started jumping out on stream with other girls, she would have definitely cleaned him out. But the fact that he's kept it pretty private until he was asked straight up, the fact that he's still supporting her, even though it looks like he's being a simp, it's going to pay dividends in the long run when the divorce proceedings get finalized. I think so. That's my theory. I could be wrong. That's my theory. Let's look at some of the reactions. She definitely getting her shit clapped by another N-word in a crib.
Rampage, how do I earn more? My wife is very expensive.
How expensive is your wife?
It's like 50 racks a month.
For real?
Yeah.
50K a month?
Yeah, she's very expensive.
Are you serious?
She's very sexy.
I don't give a fuck. Worth 50K. What costs 50K a month?
She likes to get a bag every month. She has a Bentley that she likes to enjoy. That's expensive. And then she has her treatments. Like there's Botox, there's filler, there's skin boosters. You know, there's her peptide stack. You know, there's her diet. There's all the clothing she likes to do online. Every day she has packages morning, afternoon, and night that arrive 7 days a week. Oh, that's it, man.
That's a good point, though. He broke it down really well. If you've got an expensive car payment, and then you get your nails done every day or whatever, that's already a lot of money. I didn't really figure that out. That's actually a good point. Getting your car, or getting a designer bag, it's basically going to cost you what, like $5 grand, $3 grand up? If you get a brand new designer bag every month, plus your nails and your hair done, women hair and nails is fucking crazy, right? It's probably going to be $500 to $1,000. Peptide thing could easily be $1,000, depending on the stack. And all the fucking other miscellaneous stuff from Amazon and shit coming in. Yeah, I could definitely see how 50K could get spent. You could spend 50K pretty easily. It's kind of scary to say that, but you could probably get through 50K in expenses pretty easily if you're really fucking bougie. But I just think there should be a little bit of respect, man, in my opinion. That's the thing that's really sad. It's like, if you're spending your husband's money, you should be spending it with a little bit of respect. Not just like reckless abandon. 50, like, why can't you spend 10K? Why does it have to be 50? Why can't you spend 5K a month? Why 50? I mean, it's a bit much. It's almost like, when you get like a tax rebate and you spend it like, you spend it like there's fucking no tomorrow. That's what it feels like. Because you didn't earn it, right? So you didn't earn it, so you don't respect it. So you're just spending it willy-nilly. That's fucking crazy. Crazy. Again, it also goes to show, though, big up the ladies out there. It also goes to show what women say is true. There's a saying on the internet that women always say, you're not ugly, you're broke. And it's true. That saying that women say that you're not ugly, you're broke is very true, because it takes her 50 grand a month to look the way that she does. Right? Lara Wheels is kind of a strange wife. She's a very good looking lady, but just remember, it takes 50 grand for her to look that way. She doesn't look that way coming out of bed just normally. She has to spend $50,000 a month to look that way. So women out there that are sometimes a bit clapped, all it takes is some money. You get some money, you get some peptides, you get some fucking cosmetic surgery, and you could go from a 3 to an 8 very, very quickly. A 3 to a 9 very, very quickly. She got him, LOL. I hate being right all the time about these attention thirsty thoughts. Myron out here giving her the business, right? What do you say, Myron? Let's see another response.
And you have to have this dynamic with your girl. She needs to thank God that she's with you, not the other way around. Larry over here gave this fucking talentless bitch way too much fucking credit.
Jesus
way
Christ.
too much pedestalization. Bro, she's some fucking mid-looking Eastern European chick that takes thirst trap pictures on the internet, bro.
I don't think she's mid. She's very good looking. I don't think she's mid, but I don't think because she's good looking, you should just let her run you over. Because I'm not really. I know it's a troll. It's quite a funny troll, right? To call like really attractive girls mid, but let's not lie. She's not mid. You know what I mean? The whole reason why he's simping the way that he is, the whole reason why he kind of lowered his guard, the whole reason why he didn't follow through with the fucking prenup and shit, is because he was waking up to her naked all the time. You know, that kind of changes the way you think. He was waking up to this lady naked every single day, so it kind of, you know what I mean, fucked up his head a little bit. So let's not lie and say she's mid, because that kind of played into her favor. Her looks played into her favor in terms of throwing men off, in terms of making practical, sensible decisions. Because if she was a legit 5 or a 6, there's no way Lara Wheels would let her rinse him like that. But because she looked good, he let her rinse him like that. Now, I personally think there's no amount of looks that should let you treat somebody different than how you treat somebody else. If anything, the more attractive somebody is, the more cautious you should be. because, you know, they're used to being around certain level of men and whatever else it may be. But I also don't think it's bad. Maybe again, it's my simple side coming out. I don't think it's bad to spend money on someone that you're actually locked down with, not a random person. I don't agree with just being a fucking trick. But if you're locked in with somebody, like, I think it's quite swaggy to be a man and be able to look after your lady, right? Be able to kind of make sure that her needs are met, make sure she's not wanting for anything. That's actually kind of swaggy. Obviously, it's got to be reciprocal a little bit. There's got to be some respect there. Can't be overboard. But I don't think there's anything wrong, in my personal opinion. I think there's nothing wrong with spoiling your lady with some bags, money, whatever it may be. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Just got to respect her. I mean, she can't be a Jasleen Singh. She can't be a this girl.
Bro, come on, man. Nigga, there's thousands of her. There's only one Larry Wheels. And it pisses me off because, like, bro, there's a new bitch turning 18 that looks just like fucking her right now. It fucking kills me when I see guys that got their money together, got their life together, etc., and they're getting with these ungrateful, useless fucking bimbos that provide almost no fucking value.
It's true though. That I agree with him. Similar to Jasleen thing. It is quite sad to see all these men, like, think of Akash. Think of how hard it was to grind on the way up, especially doing that fucking hacky racial comedy. Yeah, doing that hacky racial comedy that Akash Singh does, it probably took him ages to get to a level that he is now. It took him many nights going to comedy clubs where no one turned up, getting fucking bombing on stage, getting booed off, having weird, you know, maybe a little bit aggressive interactions with people in the crowd, questioning your life choices when you're on the train back home, not being able to afford food. And then when you suddenly start to make money and you're balling, you have this wife next to you that doesn't respect you, doesn't, literally kind of recoils when you try and touch her. You know what I mean? All this sort of stuff. And take that. It is kind of sad to see it happen that way. But it also makes sense though, isn't it, a little bit too? Maybe there's something in the idea of, like, this is going to be a weird theory, but maybe there's something in the idea of, like, if you're a man and you spend a lot of time dedicated to your craft, dedicated to your passion, dedicated to your job, your career, maybe that focus, that lasered in focus that makes you successful, kind of affects the way that you understand women and shit, or kind of affects your EQ, your emotional intelligence. Is that possible? It kind of affects your, like, reasoning skills, because you're so locked in on your career. You kind of can get easily kind of, I mean, the first girl that shows you a bit of attention, that kind of looks, I mean, maybe there's something about men that are successful not being the most, because we could have seen this coming from a mile away, right? Most of us on the internet could have seen this separation coming from a mile away, but he didn't. Based on what she looks like, that threw him off, but also maybe based on the idea that he was so focused on his career, so locked in, that he's not really developed the side of, like, understanding things like women and shit, relationship. I don't know. Maybe there's something in that.
Bro, this bitch was a flight attendant when you met her in Dubai. Get the fuck out of here, man. You were giving her $50K a month, taking care of all this other bullshit, and you guys are split. What are you doing? Bro, don't give her shit. I hope someone clips this and sends it to him. Don't give her shit. She constantly was disrespecting you, constantly undermining you, and she did this shit on fucking camera. Fuck that, man. You gotta put your foot down with these girls. I don't give a fuck what you guys talked about behind the scenes or whatever. This girl is a liability.
By the way, he's saying all this now. It's hard to believe him because we saw what happened on the Manosphere documentary. So him screaming and talking like this, we saw that one girl, that one, like, Hispanic girl, she kind of ran him ragged, you know? So let's not lie. Do you know what I mean? He had his first girlfriend recently, and he kind of got ran a bit ragged, and she left him for a fucking roller skater. Let's relax a little bit. Let's relax. Like, it's hard to take his, like, shouting and screaming seriously, because I'm pretty sure if he was married to this girl, he'd be doing worse. If Myron was married to this girl, he'd be doing worse in terms of the simping. So let's chill out in judging the guy. You know what I mean?
Liability, bro. She's a liability. She cooked her credibility in a fucking month over her dumbass comments. Why is she saving DMs from niggas? Oh, did you know that Myron messaged me like 3 years ago? Like, bitch, I don't even remember you. Look at this DM. Off an old Instagram account that I don't even know, that's been banned forever. Why are you saving that, you fucking weirdo bitch? That in itself is an enormous red flag.
Not really, to be fair. That exposed him. He's trying to save face, but that just exposed you. You got fucking left on red and you got your feelings hurt. It is what it is. If anything, you bringing it up like this is proof that your feelings are still hurt. That happened years ago. Why are you bothered about her fucking showing somebody that you DM'd her back in the day? Why do you care? You threw a shot, it missed. It is what it is.
So that was like, yeah, this bitch is cooked. I knew right then and there.
Revisionism, armchair quarterback. He never said this at the time.
This is not gonna last. Girls that do shit like that, the worst kinds, bro. And again, I'm not giving you guys this monologue on females to shit on Larry. That's beside the fact. I'm just explaining to you guys, this is the new normal with women and how you need to move.
It's not true though. Not all women are like this. I don't like this. Not all women are like, she's a very specific type of lady. Not all women are like this. That's a very, she's a very particular demographic of a lady. That if you're a live stream, if you're like a content creator, if you're like a prominent person, you have to be kind of wary of and take precautions with. But I don't think that's the thing. These guys don't want regular women because regular women won't put up with what they're trying to put down. Regular women won't pick up what they're trying to put down. They won't put up with this type of behavior. So they have to kind of go for those types. But those types are also dangerous because they can sometimes give you, they can sometimes make you feel, they can sometimes give you, they can sometimes be very clever with it, right? They can sometimes let you speak to them in a certain way, but behind the scenes, they're like running your pockets. You know, behind the scenes, they're running your pockets. Clavicular's got a few. Clavicular's got a few girls like that. He thinks he's the one disrespecting them, but they're the ones running his pockets, you know? Like fucking 5K a month, fucking DoorDash orders and shit, and all that malarkey. So you have to be careful as a dude with listening to this type of rhetoric.
When it comes to the Larry situation, I saw this coming. And I hope he stops giving her money. I hope he stops fucking spoiling her. I hope he stops giving her this lifestyle. Guys need to make it like this. If you're no longer with me, the lifestyle ends. You guys want to know why it probably was easier for her to separate and then end this shit? Is because she knew that she'd be able to maintain the same lifestyle to a significant degree while not being with them anymore. This is why marriage is such a fucking dangerous proposition. Because what ends up happening with marriage is you're going into a fucking contract, you're going into a business deal with someone that's not incentivized to fucking see the deal through because they get the benefits, whether the deal
looking at marriage like a business deal is your first red flag. Also, I just think like, what's the end goal then for these guys? What's the end goal? If marriage is like such a bad thing, if women are so evil, what's the end goal? Just to hang out with the lads all the time? What's the fucking end goal? Just to be with the lads forever and ever? No kids, not even dogs or something. They don't even talk about having pets. They don't even preach about having pets. They don't preach about having a good social network. What is it all about? Just making money and driving fucking Lambos and Ferraris. That sounds kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds a bit shit. Caring about fucking internet drama. There has to be an end goal. There has to be an end goal. There has to be some sort of fucking end goal in sight. Like, okay, you hate women, cool. So then what? Are we fucking guys then? Are we all gonna be gay? If we're gonna be gay, just say it, no problem. But no, we're not fucking guys. Okay, so then what are we doing then? What's all this success for? What's all this money for? What's all this fucking... Why are we doing all this? To impress another guy? Like what? To impress another guy that we're not even gonna fuck? Like what's the point of that? Makes no fucking sense. Makes no fucking sense. Anyway, let's see some of the responses here. Let's go through them. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? I saw another one here. Okay. Adrien Broner and Dean seen this, almost liked. He was warned, but it wouldn't work out. Clavicular warned him though, to be fair. Big up Clavicular. Clavicular did warn him. I'm not gonna lie. Larry wasn't be the biggest cuck alive. He was just pressing AB about Shorty a few days ago, but now they're separated. Oh yeah, true. That's a good point. Larry's a massive simp. Married 2 years, no prenup. Now pays her bills after she left and grew apart. She used you and bounced. That's the thing though. I don't see what, this is not a bad thing to do. This is a really clever approach that he's doing. I think Larry Wheels is paying her bills so that she doesn't run his pockets when they finalize a divorce. That's an okay strategy for me. I'm fine with that strategy. I think that's a more than reasonable strategy. Hey, let me just tie you over in the interim. Then when we're separated, we're separated. I think that's a more than okay bargaining chip and rule to do. I don't think that's bad. But if it's because she cheated, then it's kind of crazy because at that point she shouldn't be getting anything. You know what I mean? Larry the Cart grew apart, but monthly direct deposit stayed loyal. Jesus Christ, that's a good one. Oh, that one's hard, isn't it? Grew apart, but the monthly direct deposit stayed loyal. Damn, horrendous.
Bro, you gonna get fucked up.
But now when the guy's 125 pounds against me, it's not hard. It's not hard at all. Having 260 pounds of mass, bro, he can't move that.
You're not gonna.
Yeah, exactly. Big up Key P. Yeah, I heard about that. Larry Wheels had a OnlyFans addiction. That makes sense then. That's the thing. People on the internet don't like context and don't like nuance and don't give people the benefit of the doubt. He's already a bit of a gooner anyway. He's already admitted to having a porn addiction, OnlyFans addiction. And that lady whether or not you want to admit it or not, you guys on stream chat, she looks exactly like the type of guy that a guy that would have porn addiction or OnlyFans addiction would like. She's the archetype of that type of figure, you know, from the hips to the boobs and the face. She looks like every other kind of girl in that sort of scene. So he was probably, you know what I mean, thanking the Lord above every day that he was with her, because that's probably like his dream girl, that dream archetype of what he kind of looks for. And she probably played into it, you know, and that's what's kind of fried his brain. And he wasn't able to be rational. He wasn't able to be logical. You know what I mean? He didn't have any critical thinking skills with her. He just threw it all out the window because she ticked all his boxes. That's the problem. That's the fucking problem. Which is probably why you should be more wary. You should be more wary when a lady comes across that really is your type. You should be really more wary, because you're going to be, guys that usually don't have good poker faces. You're going to make it very clear that that is your type, and you're over the moon that you met her. So you have to kind of like play it cool, play it chill. You know what I mean? Play it cool, play it chill.
Win, Larry. Listen,
I'm here to prove my point.
I'm telling you, you're gonna top out. You're gonna see.
I can beat your ass easily.
Yo, big up who? Big up Run It Up. AZ, you paying some lucky ladies bills? No. I don't pay for nothing. Oh no, sorry, dates and stuff, but I don't give women any money. Zero. Unless I'm with you properly, unless we're together, nothing. But then again, it's a bit of a UK thing. UK guys in general, we don't really trick like that. American guys, maybe it's because you guys make more money over there. Maybe it's because you guys make more money. But tricking in the UK isn't a thing. People don't like buy girls bags to fuck them and shit. That's not the game. If anything, you want to go out of your way not to spend anything to show that you have superior game. Like, okay, cool, this girl's like high, this girl's like bougie, she messes with like really like high established guys, but I got in there without having to take her to Nobu. I took her to fucking Nando's and I still got something. You know what I mean? That's actually way more of an achievement, and you'll get more respect in the UK than via America. But in general, I've never been the guy to spend money on women like that. That I'm not with. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just gonna, if any, like zero. I'm not into it. And if you mention it, I'm just not gonna reply back. I've had a couple of girls say that to me over the years. Oh yeah, like how much? What are we gonna? Whatever. Something around money. I just don't reply again. I don't have any problem with the girl asking the kind of thing and doing to other guys. Go and do your thing, but it's just not my thing. I don't believe in it whatsoever. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it whatsoever. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. It's the same with friends. It's the same with friends. If you had a friend who only kind of asked you for money, you would also wouldn't rate them, innit? Let's be honest. If you had a fucking platonic, if you had a friend, like a guy friend, one of your best friends, and all he did was ask for money, that would also kind of throw you off a bit. You'd also be a bit pissed off about that. So I don't see how that's different with ladies, you know? It's like, it's a bit weird, like strangers like giving you money, or you asking strangers for money, and then you're also doing it in like an exchange for like sex and stuff. That kind of makes you a fucking prosy, no? By definition, that makes you a prosy. If I'm giving you money and then that guarantees I can lay with you, that's a bit weird as well. Like, it creates a weird dynamic, a weird sort of high power imbalance. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. If you do it, cool, I rock with you. Do your thing, but it's not my thing.
Why do weight classes exist?
There's levels to this shit. Wait, get away from him! Oh shit.
Oh yeah, by the way, I was like Larry Wheels too. I didn't know that saying they say about weight classes, that's why weight classes exist. That only means if you've got skills. I didn't realize that. There should be an asterisk around that saying. Weight classes exist for a reason. Well, what people say is that, oh, if you're a really big person facing a really small person and they've got martial arts skills, no matter how skillful they are, if you're bigger, you're going to win. That's not true. You're only going to win if you're bigger, if you're obviously skilled as well. If you're just a regular guy, a regular bigger dude facing a smaller dude that trains, you're going to get your ass kicked. And this is what this kind of little sparring session proved.
That's over.
10 seconds. Damn, like that.
God damn, Larry!
Big up, Run It Up. How much is a chicken meal with rice and potatoes and Nando's? I don't know. I've not been to Nando's in a while. I've not been to Nando's in a long time, but I think like why or most people get is like a quarter chicken. Oh no, half chicken. Quarter's too small now. Quarter used to be quite big, but now they're tiny. So now people get half chicken, 2 sides, and a drink. I think it's like £10, £15. Gamebred might know. Big up Gamebred. Do you know how much roughly is the regular half chicken, 2 sides, and a drink? The refillable drink in Nando's. It's about £10-15, no? I think £10-15, or maybe £16-17, somewhere around that kind of mark. Which is not too bad, to be fair. And now some Nando's serve alcohol, if I'm not mistaken. Some Nando's serve alcohol. I remember the one near me in Stratford sold alcohol. That's pretty decent. The one near me in Stratford used to sell fucking alcohol. That's pretty, but they also had security because it got a bit rowdy in there. Okay, 11 quid for half chicken, yeah, and 2 sides. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. The only thing I don't like about it is the chicken. The chicken don't taste like anything. The chicken you have to cover in fucking sauce to make it taste like anything, which I think removes the reason of having chicken, you know? You should be eating the chicken because it's tasty, but the chicken is not tasty unless you cover it in fucking Nando's sauce and shit.
Yep, it's over. It's over.
It was right.
Damn.
Lost on my aura. I'm done, dude.
That's on my aura.
What the fuck? That was crazy.
I'm about to cry, T.
Dude, no, why for what?
I'm about to cry. I'm a bitch.
Bro, it wasn't that bad.
I got bitched out, man.
Dude, did you see when the guy picked you up and like was twirling you around?
Did you see? Did you see that guy's a good troll? Did you see? Yes, I saw. I was the one getting twirled around, motherfucker. Did you see?
I got bitched out, man.
Dude, did you see when the guy picked you up and like was twirling you around? Yeah, this big ass nigga right here.
I don't know him.
No, he does, because he was talking about nutting in my wife on stream. He does know
I don't know your wife though.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, is that her? Or not?
Oh, she ain't here.
Oh, she's not here.
No, she's not here.
I don't know her though.
You were talking about what?
But if you are a friend, my bad, but I don't know your wife though.
That's not what the clip says. You and Dean were laughing about it, and
Man,
there
listen,
was a
bro.
photo of her sitting down, you know, looking sexy and whatever.
Listen, bro. I never met your wife, man.
Oh, so we're all good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sure.
Shit, I got smiles.
Oh, for sure.
Group hug. I'm gonna go over there.
Big up Neon. Big up Neon. That was brilliant. Group hug.
Yeah, sure.
You tried. He tried.
I'll smiles.
Oh, for sure.
Group hug. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna let y'all continue the conversation.
How are the tacos?
They're good. Some authentic shit.
We'll talk though.
Oh, for sure.
We'll talk.
What the hell you got going on your phone, bro?
Huh?
Let me know when you're ready to gamble.
Whenever.
All right.
But I don't know. In this sense, I'm with Adrien Broner here. He doesn't really remember him saying he's going to nut in his wife. And also when confronted, he kind of said, if you're upset about it, then I apologize. I take it back. For Adrien Broner, that's a big deal. Because Adrien Broner is very confrontational. So the fact that he was kind of like, you know, and Larry Wheels was still standing there mean mugging him. It's like, Larry, what are you going to do to Adrien Broner though? Relax, innit? Yeah, I know he was being a bit cheeky and offensive by saying he's going to nut in your wife. That's not respectful. But also, he doesn't know you. I don't know. I wouldn't be that offended if I was Larry Wheels. I think it's too much. Adrien Broner's not your friend. Some random guy on the internet that you don't know saying they're going to nut in your wife. I know that doesn't sound good, but you're going to go around fighting every single guy that says they think your wife's sexy. Like, relax, man. It's not that deep. Just relax. Also, it's fucking Adrien Broner. I understand he's a bit of a drunkard at the moment. But if he decides to black out and start swinging, you're going to be put to sleep very, very quickly. No, he needs to chill. He needs to chill. And again, he was doing all of that. And now look, now they're separated. This is an old clip of them together. By the way, this stream was really weird too because she was answering a lot of these questions. I think the red flags for me, for them two, on this particular stream, she was answering a lot of his questions. He was being asked questions about the relationship. Clavicular was basically trying to, like, you know, trying to give him a hint, like in a man way, like, hey, this girl's being a bit cheeky, man. She's kind of running your pockets. She's kind of wearing the trousers here. And she didn't like it too much. And I think after as well, she even said after the interview, when they went back home, oh, he's just a 20-year-old guy. He hasn't been in love. He hasn't been in many relationships. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Don't take his advice seriously. So she didn't really like it too much when he was getting advice from other men about his relationship or his marriage. Which again is another warning sign, like, oh, why are you so fucking offended? But yeah, I think Clavicular did a good job in terms of like explaining why prenups are important, why Larry Wheels should be cautious with this lady and shit, but he wasn't taking it. And again, I think it's people are quick to judge him because they're looking from the outside in, but when you're with someone, when you've already got a porn addiction, you're already kind of sex addled and, you know what I mean, you're kind of gripped with lust. you love OnlyFans, so you like a certain archetype of a woman, and then you end up getting with her and she ends up being your wife, it can be very difficult to kind of like think logically, you know, because you're literally thinking with your penis every day, you know. Every day is like fucking your birthday because you're like, because this is somebody that you used to maybe goon to, you know. Somebody you used to goon to is now married to you. It's going to be hard, especially if you've got that kind of porn addicted mind, to think clearly and logically. So I have a lot of sympathy for, I have a lot of empathy for fucking for Larry Wheels. I'm not gonna lie, it must have been hard, but I get his approach. Support her with the bills and stuff, maintain a lifestyle while you're separated until the divorce gets finalized, so that she doesn't clean you out and you don't piss her off. That's actually a good approach. It kind of comes across like you're being a cuck online or a simp. It's actually a clever approach. Hopefully it works out for him.
A lot of virality surrounding sort of maybe some of like the jokes that you've made about, like, you know, potential.
Yeah, exactly, Casual. Just the fact that he apologized, he should let it go. Broner will box his face up. Exactly. Big up Gamebread. This can no, I don't think so. I don't think so, Gamebread. I don't think so. I think Slow Joe is one of the only women that I've seen so far on social media who plays her position perfectly. I was thinking about it earlier in the shower. What's with these women now who don't know how to like play their position? Like, there used to be a term for it, right? It was called like trophy wife. There used to be a term people used to use. Even gold diggers to a certain extent. Gold diggers still would fucking suck their men off without any instruction every fucking morning to make sure they got their fucking watch. Not to be vulgar and stuff, not to be crass and vulgar, but gold diggers always knew where their bread was buttered. They would always look a certain way. They walk around the house in fucking lingerie and shit. Same with fucking trophy wives. You know what I mean? They kept their body and their face in certain condition. They knew how their bread was buttered. They liked a certain lifestyle. They liked wearing the fucking Cartier bracelets and the Von Cleef necklaces and driving Bentleys. So they know in order to keep their man sweet and keep his fucking card in their purse, they had to make sure that he was pleased and he was kind of looked after. Nowadays, these women are weird. Like, they kind of want to spend the kind of women these guys like, not like regular ones. The kind of women that these guys like to date, they almost like, they're very like rude and dismissive and greedy and shit. It's strange. Like, if you want to spend, like, for instance, Larry Wheels is, it's very likely Larry Wheels will end up spending 50k on another woman a month. He's already got that gene, right? It's already part of his like DNA. It's very likely. But the next woman he spends 50k a month on, she's going to be very grateful. She's going to be very loyal because she wants that lifestyle to last forever. So she's going to look after that guy, you know? But these new, so that's why I think Slow Joe is good. Slow Joe is perfect for Brendan because she knows how to play a position. She's not out here trying to be like she's not out here trying to go into Brendan's lane. She basically adores him every time you see him on social media. She's always kind of talking very well about him on her stories. They've got kids together too. That changes things. I think Soja's a different breed. She's a different breed to the Jazzleens and this girl. She's actually one that actually respects, even if she's pretending, she looks like she respects and loves Brendan. She plays her role perfectly. She's not too much in the fucking limelight. She does her own thing. You know what I mean? She probably walks around the crib. She probably walks around the crib in those A-Lo pants. Everything we see about her, she probably walks around the crib with her t-shirt tucked into her fucking leggings, shaking her bum all the time, making sure Brendan's aware. Hey, I'm here, tits out and shit. Do you know what I mean? She knows how to kind of keep her man happy, keep the card in her account. That's why she's always got stuff. That's why she's always got fucking stuff. She's always got fucking nice fancy things because she knows how to keep Brendan happy and not annoy him. She's not out here. She's not doing a Jazzleen every time Brendan tries to touch her. She's not like squirming. She probably wakes up in the morning with just her legs spread out, ready to, you know what I mean? She's a good wife. Not to be like crass again, but she's a good wife in that respect. I bet you any money. Yeah, she's annoying online from us point of view, but in terms of Brendan, he probably loves that he's with her every single day. She knows how to play her role. She's a good mum. She looks after the house well, and she plays her position. That's why she gets nice things. She gets gold watches and diamond rings because she played her position.
Potential divorce and like prenup stuff. So I don't really know like too much about that. Like I guess you decided not to go that route.
I decided not to go the prenup route.
And I think in a lot of cases like that makes sense. That's just
be up casual again. Be up casual. But I disagree with this framing. Big up Casual, but I strongly disagree with this framing. I strongly disagree with this framing, and this applies to both genders. This applies to men and women, but I strongly disagree with this framing. Big up Casual. Jasline's example of that perfectly. She's not the great looking, and public humiliating her meal ticket says a lot about a car she cucked out to that. I don't agree with that framing. If Jasline was a 10, her behavior still wouldn't be okay. If Jasline was an objective 10, her behavior and the way that she treats fucking Akash, the way she speaks about herself and her relationships in the past and shit online wouldn't be okay. We have to get away from this thinking that because somebody looks a certain way, we have to put up with it. Because that's where abuse comes in. That's where manipulation comes in. That's when embarrassment comes in. That's when ridicule comes in. That's when someone taking advantage of you comes in. You should never let anybody get away with something just because of the way you look. Same way you should never let somebody get away with something just because they got money. If somebody's got money, does that mean they can beat you black and blue? If someone's got money, does that mean that they can disrespect you every day and mentally abuse you? No. We should be going for people that lift us up, that make us feel good, that love us for who we are, blah, 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 blah. But looks should not be the defining factor as to what you allow and what you don't allow. Now, don't get me wrong. Have I said in the past that I think Jasline's behavior is made worse because she's basically mid? Yes. Sometimes I think to myself, like, to have that kind of arrogance to behave that way, you kind of have to also look a certain way, you know? You've got like a kind of person that's like, yeah, I've got many options. But I think you guys like overrate. Like, I don't think she's even that good looking personally. I don't think so. But even if she is, even if she isn't, the way that she behaves, I think will lower her fucking appeal to people. If she would like, I think she's very aware, Jasline, if she left fucking a car, she'd be fucked. Especially at her age. She's like 31 or something. The guys that she would want who are, because again, think about Jasline. She likes Miu Miu, she likes Prada, she likes Chanel and shit. She likes nice things. She likes to shop and look pretty. The type of girl, the type of man that Jasline would want would have to have money. Most men don't get money or don't get, you know, riches until they're like 30 plus. The guys who are 30 plus who get money, they're not gonna go for a 31-year-old Indian lady. They're gonna go for the 19-year-old version of Jasline coming up, who's a bit more malleable, who's younger, who maybe hasn't been corrupted as much, you know, for lack of a better term. So she knows that he's her meal ticket, which is again makes her behavior more disrespectful. But let's get away from the idea that looks should dictate how somebody treats you or what you allow. It doesn't matter. Even if she was a 10, her behavior is still not good enough. It's still not nice. It's still disrespectful, in my opinion.
Essentially, and that's a take I don't think a lot of people will expect. It's essentially like, you know, preparing for the worst if you decide to go that route in a relationship. So I don't like it from that perspective, that it's just like a way out or sort of a way to cover your losses there. I don't think that's a good mentality to go into things with. But on the other hand, you know, it's just about like probability.
Big up Unknown Cat. Big up Unknown Cat. Brendan's alimony and child support will be fucked. I would bet my life savings. I would bet my entire life savings. Fucking Slojo, Joanna, will never ever divorce Brendan. And you know, and the same goes the other way. I would willing to bet my entire life savings Brendan never divorces Slojo and Slojo never divorces Brendan. They are perfect for each other. He plays his role. He kind of gets to play the man of the house, making the money, supporting his family, and she looks after the household and also treats him well. She knows she behaves the way Jasline should be behaving. She plays her position perfectly. There's no way they're leaving each other. They both got a good thing. He's got a bit of a trophy wife that he's happy to show off and stuff. Fat tits, big bum and shit. And she's happy she's got a man that looks after her and buys her fancy things and is tall and big and shit. There's no way they're getting divorced or anything. Zero. They're actually, and even in terms of intellect and in terms of outlook in life, they're kind of perfect for each other if you think about it. Put your dislike for Brendan aside. Like, Slojo and Brendan are actually well matched in terms of how they speak, how they view the world, their values. You know what I mean? Like, they're actually very well suited. So I don't think they're ever going to get divorced, in my opinion. It will take something really catastrophic to cause their divorce, but I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's going to be just her waking up and being like, I need more love, I'm bored, I need to get... No. Like, he gives her a really good life. And I think she's very appreciative of it. She's never going to let that go.
And what's kind of, you know, likely and what's predictable. the fact of the matter is, you know, getting sued for divorce can wreck people, absolutely wreck people. So it is a way to sort of like protect yourself a little bit. But no, I think if you've got that contract in place, it certainly can, you know, the prenup arrangement, it kind of like puts a little.
Look at the way that fucking Larry Wheels is looking at him, and look at the way that fucking the girl is like leaning her head back. She's very frustrated, and he's kind of giving him the look of like, almost like stop talking, but please carry on. Larry Wheels is kind of giving Clavicular the look of like, please stop talking, but also carry on, please. He's kind of happy that he's saying it because he tried to say it to his wife, and she's obviously shut that door. But she's very frustrated now at this type of conversation. She don't want this type of, you know what I mean? It's almost like if a girl, like, you know how some girls, if you're in a relationship, some girls don't like you hanging around with your fucking single friends, because they think your single friends are up to no good and they're gonna get you in trouble and they're gonna, you know, get you fucking cheating on them. That's how she's kind of looking at this. Because Vic is the kind of guy that's going to make Larry start thinking things, you know? She doesn't like that. She doesn't like that at all.
A bit of a dark aura on the.
Yo, big up Stanislas. Big up Stanis on Kick. She looks like every Eastern European girl in Dubai, good looking, but there's thousands of her. But that's the thing. It doesn't, like, there's thousands of them, but none of us are fucking them. Do you know what I mean? There's thousands of them out there, but they're not easy to get. There are certain levels. So when you got her, and again, if you're into that type of girl, I think I've got more sympathy for him because I know how it is. Sometimes if you're with somebody and they end up ticking your boxes, it can fry your brain. It can really throw you off. So I'm not going to blame him too much for being fried off. And also, he's susceptible to this type of thing because he's already admitted he's an OnlyFans addict. He's already admitted he had a crazy porn addiction. So he's not like a regular guy. He's not like us. He's not like a regular person who could have got out of this before, who could have warning signs. He's already quite lustful and porn addicted anyway. Do you know what I mean? So when you literally marry somebody that could be in a fucking, not to be disrespectful to her, but a lady that looks like she could also be in a porno, it's going to fry your brain because she's literally your dream person. So I get why he kind of fell into this the way that he fell into it.
Relationship, I would say.
I think it signals to my wife that I don't trust her. Mm-hmm. And I do. And beyond that, the internet knows I've been transparent about my addiction, and my wife has been very forgiving and willing to work.
Of course she's been forgiven. Of course she's been forgiven, bro. You bought her a fucking Bentley. Bro. Of course she's been very forgiving of your fucking addictions. Come on. Also, let's be honest. Like, I don't think a lot of girls would run away from a guy. A guy having a porn addiction is way better than a guy having a drug addiction or addiction to fucking booze. Let's be honest. Porn addiction is still maybe a bit of a red flag because it seems like you're a bit lustful, maybe a bit creepy. But I think most women would take a guy with a porn addiction over a guy with a fucking drug addiction. Let's be honest. Porn addiction over drug addiction any day of the week. It's not that deep, really. And some women maybe might see it as a good thing. Some women might see it as a good thing because it means that you're sexually active or something. You know what I mean?
Work with me on that, and I think like I owe her a lot, you know. And we're a team. We build together. I don't feel like it's right to make a contract before we even gave our marriage a try, saying that, well, when we get divorced, as if I'm saying we're going to get divorced in the future. I think marriage is supposed to be like a lifelong journey, not like there shouldn't be an expiration date. Yeah. Right?
She sounds like him. Of course she's saying yeah now. That's the thing though. I think obviously that's what it's like. I don't think you can help. Let's say this. I think this is a good example, right? Let me say, I think this is a good example. This is a good analogy I'm going to do here. I think floating the idea to your wife to be that you want her to sign a prenup is almost similar, I think, to trying to explain to your wife that you cheating with some random stripper wasn't as bad as she's making it seem. It didn't mean anything. It was just what it was. It wasn't it wasn't like a reflection on you not loving her or that she doesn't please you or anything. It was just, you know, you're just being a man. You were thinking with your fucking penis, unfortunately, and you made a fucking mistake. It's the same thing because it's the truth. Most men, when they cheat, it's not really about loving somebody else. It's just more so about the access, the ability to. It's a random girl pulls up to you in a bar and starts talking to you all dirty and stuff and says, come to a fucking toilet. A lot of guys are going to find it hard not to kind of follow, even if they've got a relationship back home. Why? Just because it's so easy. Not because you actually wanted to do it. You didn't set out that day to go and cheat on your wife in the fucking pub. But it just so happened. But it's hard. It's really hard to explain that to a woman and make it make sense to anybody, really, because it sounds fucking insane. Same thing with fucking prenups. How do you make a woman believe that you are not saying you want to sign a prenup because you think it's going to end? You're doing it because it protects both parties, and mostly you, because you've worked really hard on your career, you've been grinding, so you're trying to protect your assets and yourself. Because why should it be fair that now that you're up and you're attracting a girl like this, that she should be in a position where if it ends she can take half? Why? When you weren't with me shooting in the gym, it doesn't make any sense, does it? But to most women, when they hear prenup, they hear you're not really committed, you think this is going to end, you don't trust me, blah 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 blah. So it's just hard to make people okay with that. It's just really difficult, which is why it's probably really important to find a good person first, because I think a good person would understand, a good woman would understand the prenup, especially if you're really up. If you're really fucking up and you're balling and you're doing well in your career, a good woman would understand why you're suggesting a prenup, because you're the one that's up in this relationship. You're going to be looking after her, you're going to be covering all the bills. Both of you only crossed paths because of your success. You might have met him at some fucking gala somewhere. That's the only reason why you guys are fucking locked in. If when he was working at McDonald's, you probably would have never given him a chance. But now that he's on TV, he's got all these shows, he's an actor, whatever he is now, of course you're interested, of course. So I think a good woman would understand, but I still think it's a lot harder than guys on the internet like to make it seem. Oh, just make a sign of brother. Like, have you tried to make a girl do anything in real life? I don't think some in the internet have ever actually dealt with women in real life. Have you ever tried to make a girl do anything in real life? It's very difficult to get women to do anything as a man. You know what I mean? They don't listen to you. So the fact that men can just be, oh yeah, just make a sign a prenup, as if like it's like, what? Like it's not that easy. It really isn't that easy. Trust me, it really isn't that easy.
That oh well, I'm already thinking that we're gonna lose, we're gonna fail, and this is what you should get. It doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I do like about prenuptial arrangements is it sort of ensures a little bit more, adhesion to, whatever rules you sort of put forwards in the relationship, right? So if things, that your wife are doing are something that you want to put to an end, if there's if there's a prenup in place and you're threatening divorce, she might be a little bit more inclined, to sort of act right and act in a good fashion that's going to respect you. So making sure, you're maintaining that level of respect throughout the entire relationship, and that there's nothing really that's going to be there for her if she decides to leave, sort of puts that dependency there. So I guess it's kind of good from a male standpoint.
But I also think people assume if somebody puts a prenup, straight away means a woman gets nothing. Whatever you put, I think that's not fair either, especially if she, for example, had a job before and she decided to quit her job to be a mom, to be a housewife, whatever, she's entitled to something because she was supporting her man.
That's not true. That's a really way to think about it. You quit your job because you got with somebody successful. That means that you should have that doesn't make no sense. If it ends, it ends. You go your own way, he goes their own way. If anything, the prenup should have something in there where there's maybe a bit of a buffer. There's maybe a bit, what's that period? What's it called? It's not a handover. There's a little bit, it's a term for it. There's a bit of a grace period. Maybe that is something, right? Where maybe, imagine you give the, you know what I mean? I think that would be fair. If you're a really rich person, you're up as a dude and you sign a prenup with somebody, maybe there should be a stipulation in there where if you end up getting divorced, for 6 months or something, you can cover something. Just for the transition as to them kind of lowering their bills and stuff. So for the next 6 months, you're going to cover this house payment. You're going to look after the car. But once that is done, they're going to have to make their own arrangements. That's probably more than fair than just ending everything straight off the bat. Do you know what I mean? Allowing them the opportunity to kind of wind things down, get their own affairs in order, see if maybe they can get a job that can let them keep that kind of lifestyle going anyway. That's probably more than fair. But the idea that, that they should just be what? Or because I had a job before and I quit it, I should get more. It's what are you talking? You quit it because you wanted to quit it. That's what I have to do with me. And now that it's over, it's fucking over. Figure it out. Do you know what I mean? That's not fair either. But again, maybe the point is, forget all this shit. The point is choosing somebody where this stuff isn't really important anyway. That's probably the most important thing, which is probably the hardest part. The hardest part, because it's easy to get attracted to a girl like this. It's easy to say that you want to marry a girl like this because of what she looks like. It's very easy. But to find the right person to lock down with, to lock in with, who has the same outlook on life as you, who respects you, who loves you, who adores you, who wants to support you and shit, that's really difficult. And that's what people should focus more on. But people out here focus on fucking getting a fucking Lambo.
Throughout, you know, she left her career and she's supporting her man, whatever his job is, his, you know, career is, and she shouldn't be left without anything. However, I don't think it's right for women just to take 50% of like a hardworking, whatever that man created, you know. I also
right.
Whatever like prenuptial.
That's a good indication. That's a good actually for the future divorce. That's good. Hear what she said there. She's like, I don't think it's right for women to take 50% of a guy's fucking thing. That's actually fair. So that might mean she might not clean him out if she's really thinking that way. Maybe there's hope for Larry Wheels. Maybe he might not get cleaned out. That's good. That's good to hear. That's reassuring.
Agreement is like you can put like, oh, at the end of marriage, I want this. You know, like I want to give her this. You know, so I think there is a lot of like misconception about prenup that just because there is a prenup, women should get nothing. You know. Like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. She didn't reveal that. There's nothing there to say that she's launching on OF. It just says, what's that in the caption? The caption just says pool days. There's nothing in the caption that says she's launching on OF there. I think that's a little bit, come on. That's a bit presumptuous. Anything more? Oh yeah, there it goes, yeah. Larry Wheels gets emotional and collapses on live, claiming his wife betrayed him with a famous streamer.
What's going on?
Damn.
Guys, so for about the last 3 years, I have been battling an addiction that has been
Is this an old clip though? I don't think this is new. I think this might be an old clip. I think it's somebody trolling. I don't know if this is real.
Compromising my future and my relationships. So, when you go on adult sites, you may see ads for campsites. Well, sometimes I'd spend an hour or two on an adult site trying to find the perfect video, and then one day I finally caved in and wanted to see what the fuss about these campsites were. Probably the worst decision I've ever made, because I got sucked in slowly but surely. Slowly over time, it started off with, you know, maybe one or two $10 purchases, tipping them out of $10 here and there. Innocent, nothing huge, nothing significant.
Innocent. Yeah, that's a made up clip. That's a completely made up clip. Completely made up clip. Yeah, I think that's a completely made up clip there. Throwback to when Larry Wheels when Seja Dakovic called Larry Wheels ugly, did she?
I'll take an ugly guy that does not cheat. Where like it has to be like extremely good looking guy and cheat on me.
Just from the context that you said that in, that can be taken as like you saying that about Larry.
I'll take an ugly guy that doesn't cheat over a hot guy that cheats. So is that why you're with me? Could you think I'm ugly?
I'll take an ugly guy that does not cheat. Where like it has to be like extremely good looking guy and cheat on me.
Just from the context that you said that in, that can be taken as like you saying that about Larry.
Jesus Christ, that lady. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's okay. That shit happens, isn't it? That shit fucking happens. Larry was spotted already talking to a new girl after his supermodel wife left her. Demon Time, right? Is it true? Is he on Demon Time?
I mean, his beard's like 6 inches thick, so it's like hitting. Because it was absorbing impact, wasn't it? Or like something.
Odd to say, but I've never had a beard.
Me neither. I wouldn't know about that.
Okay. Okay, what's that? Seja Davok. What's that? Shayla Davokovic or Dakovac. Seja Davokovac, supermodel wife of powerlifter and streamer Larry Wheels, Larry bragged about not making her sign a prenup because he fully trusted her. Repeatedly accused of being a gold digger after demanding a Bentley and a Birkin bag shortly after Larry built her a G-Wagon. After just 2 years of marriage, they announced their separation. The official reason we grew apart. Larry confirmed he's still paying her all her bills and taking care of her financially. Never ever marry without a prenup, especially if you're rich and famous. 99% of girls will marry you only for the money. That's not true. That's not true. If you're trying to date these type of women, honestly, I'm not like, I think these guys, they don't date regular women. If you're trying to date these type of women, girls that look like this, most likely they're not going to be with you because you've got a banging personality. They're gonna, you know what I mean? They didn't get attracted to you because they like you as a person. Let's be real. They got attracted to you because of the fucking success and shit and the money and the lifestyle. Then of course prenup and all that shit. But regular ladies don't think like this. Like, I don't believe this. This is just like this is like internet OnlyFans brain people that think like this. Not all women are fucking OnlyFans girls. You know what I mean? It's kind of insane to think all women are, it's almost like thinking all men are red pill guys on the internet. All men don't agree with fucking Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate and them, man. And I don't think all women are as fucking ditzy or as, you know, money obsessed as some of these girls are. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. This is, oh what? This is an intervention for Lara Wheels. 100% serious. Larry. Fucking hell, Myron Gaines is always on the right side of history, isn't it? When was this? February the 12th. February the 12th, Myron posted this. This is an intervention for Lara Wheels. 100% serious. Larry, this woman is actively destroying your career, your reputation, and the legacy you spent years bleeding for. Wake up. Ask yourself these questions and answer them honestly. Why was your wife still marketing herself half naked online while claiming to be in a committed relationship? Why were her DMs wide open? Why has she been screenshotting and holding DMs from famous men for years like trophies? Why does she constantly undermine, mock, and embarrass you on stream in front of your entire audience? Why does she openly talk about other men in sexual ways in front of you? These are massive red flags. It is not my job to avoid access to women. It's not my job to avoid access to women, especially when their profile supports to be single. It's her job to avoid being accessible. Saving a 3-year-old DM from random celebrity isn't the gotcha she thinks it is. The real gotcha, her IG from that time period when she supposedly was taken. You're nowhere to be found. If you are, but to be fair, that's normal. Even most people don't do that. I don't think you should do. I don't think you should be parading your other half on social media. You should be keeping that private for yourself, to be fair. I don't think you need people on social getting into your ear, saying dumb things, and just respect people's privacy. But I think most girls nowadays wouldn't, you know, it's your social media. It doesn't, why should she be over it? Maybe if you got a family, it's different. But I don't necessarily agree with having, because somebody doesn't post on social media, that means they don't love you or they don't respect you. I don't think that's necessarily true. Because it's also very easy to tell, even if it's a fucking IG baddie, it's usually really easy to tell if a guy took that picture anyway. It's really easy to tell, you know, if another guy is there. It's not that hard. So I don't think it's like, it's not like you're fooling anybody. And if you are, she made sure to hide you because I didn't see it, and as I am sure others didn't either. So she can add to her validation collection. The ugly truth, Larry, she is a predatory, attention-seeking opportunist who gets off on the spotlight even if it comes at your expense. She has already embarrassed you publicly multiple times on camera. She'll keep doing it because it worked for her. You're one of the strongest men on the planet physically. Time to show that same strength mentally. Find a way out, quietly, cleanly and fast before she finishes what she started. I've seen this exact story play out before many times. I'm never wrong about women like this. Your legacy is more than her clout. He's actually, angrily enough, Myron's a bit of a fucking donut, but he's actually spot on here. Everything he said played out the way it played out. He's actually fucking spot on. He's actually spot on. I'm not gonna lie. He's actually fucking spot on here. Fuck. Unlucky, man. Unlucky. Unfucking lucky. But anyway, big up Lara Wheels, man. Keep your head up, bro. I think that's it in terms of updates on Lara Wheels. I think that's it. I'll leave it there. But big up Lara Wheels. Keep your fucking head up. Keep your fucking head up. What's this? Another one? Maybe broke up with Lara Wheels because she was too obsessed with Djokovic. What?
My favorite tennis player. I was joking. We always joke, like even before, like I love tennis. And you know, do you guys watch tennis?
Yeah.
So Novak Djokovic, he's from Serbia. You know, like I grew up.
I mean,
watching.
You're picking The Rock or Djokovic.
No, not for that. No, I was
He's the best tennis player ever.
No. I was not saying for Donor to be Djokovic, but we were saying I love Novak Djokovic so much. If I was ever to get a tattoo, I would get like Novak Djokovic face across my back. And my favorite tennis player. I was joking. We all
again, like men on the internet. What's wrong with her being a fan of Novak Djokovic? Like that means that she's a whore because she likes a really famous tennis player from her country.
The webcam addiction.
How did that go?
What?
Yeah, back in the day when I was on Tran and blasting steroids, I had a raging porn addiction, which escalated to spending money on custom videos from girls.
You say you spent over $10,000 a day?
Yeah, I was spending like 100 grand a month.
But my question is, when
100 grand a month on cam girls is crazy. 100 grand a month. You know what? I'm surprised that industry is still popping. You know, it's actually kind of impressive. It's actually kind of impressive that the cam industry is still popping, considering how much free porn is out there. That always surprises me. But then it makes sense, because think of all the times that you want a goon and the amount of times you spend looking for something specific and you can't find it. That's probably where the fucking that level comes into it, where you want to find something specific, so you go to someone specific and you pay them to give you something very, very specific. But it's actually really impressive that that industry is still popping, considering how many leaks and fucking freebies you can get on the internet. And people are still willing to pay for that shit and spend a lot of money. 10 grand. That's one client, by the way. That's one customer who's spending 10 grand a month. Oof. No wonder girls get into that business, man. Guys like to look down on girls that do that sort of stuff and think of them as being less than. But it makes sense why girls get into that business and why they can't get out of it. The money must be so addictive, man. They must make so much money per day, per week. Of course, maybe for your soul and your spirit, not the greatest thing to do, but if you're just worried about your bank balance, god damn it, man. There's always going to be a gooner out there. You're never going to be in short supply of a gooner.
Maybe just easier to get a hooker?
But it's not enough. Like, it's just one chick. When you're in the midst of a porn addiction, like, you're hooked on just the allure of like having countless women.
So how do you do? You just type in,
you know, just like 10 minutes one girl, 10 minutes another girl, 10 minutes another girl. It's just like the
you're busting a nut every 10 minutes.
Edgelord.
Jesus Christ.
So how often were you jerking off a day?
I mean, it would be in late hours. Like, once I've done all my shit for the day, I reward myself with that behavior and convince myself, lie to myself, oh, this is fine. Like, I've earned it. Like, everyone fucking watches porn or whatever. And then be like after hours, you know, like after 8, 9 o'clock.
How'd you finally quit? You ran out?
That's crazy.
I eventually became broke from it.
That's fucking insane.
And then I had
that's crazy.
The girl I was dating at the time helped me out with, like, she would check my bank account and shit, and like, hey, like legit, dude, like, access, you know. And
Jesus fucking Christ, Jesus! But big up that girl that saved him. Big up that girl that saved him at that time.